It's Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I'm Erick Erickson. These are the four things you need to know before you get home this afternoon. Up first, in breaking news that happened at the end of my show, Charlie Kirk, the talk show host and head of TPUSA, has been shot at an event at Utah Valley University. As of right now, his condition is unknown. Eyewitnesses said he was shot in the neck by someone who began to be combative about transgender issues before opening fire on the crowd, pointing his gun at Charlie Kirk. Obviously, prayers for Charlie are necessary and important here, but this is also a reminder of the increasing violence we see on the left in the United States. Every time Republicans enact a policy, the left is told that they're all going to die, whether it's tax cuts, changes to Obamacare, net neutrality, you name it. They're told anything Republicans do is going to get people killed. They have been whipped into an existential frenzy by many of the voices on the left and inside the media, and they are increasingly violent. And this violence today has come to Utah Valley University with someone directing an attack at Charlie Kirk, who is oftentimes singled out as someone who is responsible for many of the things the president's doing and helping him get elected. And he's got a target on his back. More and more conservatives are going to have targets on their back. In the first Trump administration, progressive protesters would show up at people's homes or chase people out of restaurants protesting them. Now they're showing up armed with guns. James Hodgkinson was an anomaly in the first Trump term, where he showed up fueled with anger from MSNBC and elsewhere and opened fire, attempting a mass assassination of Republican members of Congress at a baseball event. Now you got progressives showing up around the country at Catholic schools, at evangelical Christian schools, at college events, armed, specifically designed to kill people they disagree with in politics. We solve our differences in this country with ballots, not bullets, but the left in this country have driven progressives to an existential frenzy, thinking that their power is gone and they must take back the country. In the words of Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, they must fight fire with fire, he said. They're taking him seriously, and other progressive voices who are increasingly calling for violence against what they say is an authoritarian regime that is term limited. The S&P has soared to record highs today, with the producer price index showing deflation. Now, Trump supporters are saying this shows that tariffs are not actually making a dent in the economy, and others saying, wait. Well, here's my take on this. I'm not an economist, but I do digest the news, read The Economist, and have seen the analysis. The producer price index, 2/3 of it is services. Tariffs don't apply to services. When you look at the goods that only account for about 6% of the producer price index, they have gone up actually in price due to tariffs. But people also forget tariffs are a one-time pop. They're not a constant inflationary situation. They just pop once, and then the price freezes with the tariff rate. But services are plunging. Now, this actually does show weakness in the economy. It also shows that American consumer spending is still strong. This situation is probably going to change. More and more retailers, from Dollar General to Walmart, are beginning to warn about tariffs. But overall, the American economy is still very strong. I would caution Republicans not to fall into the trap of Democrats, where you rely on the data and insist the data shows it's strong, because there is still warning that consumers are starting to cut back their spending. It's only the wealthy that are continuing to spend. The Fed Beige Book likewise shows that the building and growth of data centers in the country is so overwhelmingly spectacular, it's showing growth where other sectors of the economy, including manufacturing, are starting to fall behind. The economy is a mixed bag, but Donald Trump really is benefiting from the explosive growth of data centers right now. And also, exporters and importers are realizing they can't pass the full cost of tariffs on to consumers because consumers will stop spending. They're eating those costs, and that will have a trickle-down negative effect into the economy long term. We still have to be careful here. Our economy is good, but it's showing real signs of weakness that will provoke a Federal Reserve interest rate cut, and that will hopefully revive the economy. NATO leaders are condemning the Russian incursion into Polish airspace. The Russians seem to be intentionally probing weakness within the NATO alliance. Donald Trump did not give the Russians what they were hoping for. The President of the United States has released a statement saying he stands shoulder to shoulder with the NATO allies, and NATO remains strong. The leadership of Poland, European leaders, the EU, NATO, the United States have all condemned this incursion. It was not war. It was not attacking the Poles, but it was certainly probing the Western alliance. The Western alliance remains strong. Donald Trump taking the lead on this, condemning the Russians. Very notable escalation of rhetoric from the United States leadership against the Russians for what happened in Poland. The president of the United States, of course, wants to end the war in Ukraine, not have it expand to NATO allies. Lastly, Chuck Schumer is attempting to force a vote on the Epstein files. Normally, it is the majority in the United States Senate that files for cloture on a vote, in this case, the National Defense Authorization Act. But technically, any senator can file for cloture. It's just not done. Chuck Schumer has done what is not done in the United States Senate, a breach of protocol in the Senate that even some Democrats are calling brazen. Schumer, of course, is under a lot of attack from Democrats for not fighting hard enough. This is his performative attempt to fight Donald Trump by embarrassing him and the Republicans over the Epstein files. But Republicans in the Senate, including those Republicans who want the Epstein files released, say they will oppose Schumer's effort for daring to violate the protocols of the United States Senate, allowing the performance to reign on where really most Americans care about other things. These are the 4 things you need to know this afternoon. Please keep Charlie Kirk in your prayers today. As I leave the air now, his status is unknown. He has apparently been taken to a hospital in Utah. Prayers for him and his family. Prayers for this nation as well, as the left comes more and more unhinged. The radical voices of the left are amping up violence in this country. I am Erick Erickson. These are the 4 things you need to know. Please stay informed. Please stay engaged. And definitely, above all else, please keep the faith.